Last Minute Man, and I'm here today with my good buddy, Mr. Avispa. We're coming to you again from the man cave.
Man cave.
Yeah. So, what are we talking about today, Mr. Avispa?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I didn't know anything about these knives, but Last Minute Man kind of turned me on to these. He had carried Esee 5 and really liked the knife. It's a tough knife.
Yep.
And then this one here, I was on internet browsing one day and I found this on here, so I got that for Last Minute Man for Christmas. Then I hadn't looked at it. And
I'll get it up close here.
he opened it up and I'm like, man, I really like that. So I'm like,
So, if one's good,
so,
buy two.
Yeah. So, I mean, the shape of that blade on this knife was just perfect. And I
Right.
really liked it. So I had to go buy myself some.
And this is called the Esee Avispa, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't speak Spanish, barely speak English. So, yeah, it's, I guess, means wasp.
Yeah.
And I believe is what they say. But yeah, he got this for me, and as he mentioned, I carried an Esee 5 overseas, and I really love that knife. It was very durable, 1095 high carbon, easy to sharpen. Of course, they can get a little rust and things, but you keep things oiled up and you're good to go. But this here is made out of AUS 8 steel, was the one he got me. And this thing came out of the box just razor sharp. Mm-hmm. And I've been using it now since Christmas, so about a month I've been banging around with this thing. And you know, it's got a couple little nicks on the blade or on the top of the finish there, but that's just rattling around in my pocket mostly. I did trim some of my apple trees with it, and it's still holding a razor edge. And I just love this thing. It's lightweight. I'm not going to sit here and fling it around with this close proximity. But yeah, this thing, it's lightweight, feels good in your hand. It's thin. So when going in your pocket, you know, this just clips, you know, just doesn't have much of a print anywhere. It's easy to carry.
Yeah, I like that belt clip on it. That's pretty neat too.
Oh yeah.
And I really like the way you carry it. You kind of slide it in your pocket.
Yep.
And kind of clip it in his pocket. And,
yep.
And I mean, it works great. Just slide it in the pocket.
Yep. You can always really get to it. He also got me a Swiss Army knife years ago, and I use this thing about every day. But yeah, this you got to dig around in your pocket for, whatever. You can get to this thing and deploy it pretty quick. It's just right there,
just right there. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you got here. He bought the D2 version.
Yeah, I bought a D2 version of it. I got the green handle in it. Now this blade is real hard steel.
Yeah.
The D2. So it's kind of bright colored on the back. It's non-rust, and it opens fairly easy too. And they got an excellent lockup on the blade.
I love the lockup.
I love the way they lock up. And you noticed in here, all three of these knives, if you can see in here, every blade is dead center.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing to the right, to the left.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll show this one as well.
Yep, they're all dead center. They're well aligned, well locked up, and I just really like
And
them.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did watch a video, and the guy had like the first iteration of these, and these are made in Taiwan, even though it's an American company. But he was talking about having some wobble in here and stuff. This thing's solid. I mean, I've got no movement whatsoever.
This
I mean,
is
there's
solid too.
No rattle, no movement. The lockup on the frame lock is excellent. I know on the Rats, and that is the Ontario version of this blade. Basically, the same guy invented them. It doesn't have the frame lock, and I see some benefits to that. A negative to it would be the thickness of your handle and everything. I do like having this thin profile. Again, just lightweight, thin profile, easy to carry, quick to deploy.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Mike, this is looks like 370 thousandths. So yeah,
Okay,
it's very thin.
check this one out, because this is the AUS 8 versus the D2. They should be the same. I would imagine they're the same.
Yep, 371 thousandths. I mean, it's thousandths different than this one here. We get hit, so same area. Now this one's 365 thousand, so it's 5 thousandths thinner for some reason.
For some reason or another. You know, it's because it's orange. No, it's
but 5 thousandths is
color
not
adds
much.
thickness. No, and
But the blade
that's the thickness of a hair.
Yeah.
5 thousandths.
Yeah, it's so we got 105 thousandths thickness on the blade, and down here, right at the edge, just a little up on it, we're at 35 thousandths. So it's got a real good taper to it.
Yeah.
And I love the way these knives feel. I love the shape of the blade. You can actually skin a deer with this knife, and they're razor sharp.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. My next deer I get is gonna be processed with this.
Yeah. Now the D2 was not as sharp as the
AUS 8.
yeah.
Out of the box.
Yeah, out of the box.
Yeah, he called me up and said, you know, what's really the difference? He was asking me, and I said, you know, I've always wanted a D2 blade, but I never purchased one because they were always very expensive. These are actually really economical. The other thing, a lot of people get D2 and they're disappointed right away because they get it and they can't put an edge on it. This stuff's like a 62 Rockwell hardness.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's a very, very hard steel. You've got to use a diamond stone. You are not going to sharpen this with a traditional Arkansas whetstone or something like that. You've got to use diamond stones. And you actually used this little kit here, and he was able to get a razor edge on it finally.
Yep.
And what is this here called?
It's a Lansky knife sharpening system.
And I had never seen this. I said, oh my gosh, this thing's so cool.
So what I've done, I used, it's got different angles. So I used a 17-degree angle with the
coarse diamond.
Yeah, the coarse diamond. You can see the coarseness in that diamond. And so it thinned it down pretty quick. Then I took it from the 20-degree, then or 17-degree where I started out with the coarse. Then I went up to 20-degree, up one notch with the fine. You can see how much finer that is. So once I'd done that, then I had a slight more angle, and then she started getting sharp.
Yep.
I mean, the diamond stone, they really started to bring it in there. Then I put it on my little Norton. I got a Norton big stone, and I just kind of softly honed that down until it got the roughness off that edge. And
right.
Then now this thing's like razor sharp.
And it is. It's nice. And of course, like I said, these came out of, and I mean, I'm sure you want a shaving tutorial in here, right? So, but, I don't know if you can see this in camera, but that is shaving me.
Show that in the camera. The hair.
so it does shave, and I have used this quite a bit here.
Yeah, and this, I mean, it slices paper like
sharp as can be.
I mean, it's just razor sharp. That's the D2 steel.
Yep.
I got it that sharp, it'll shave you.
But that is one of the negatives of D2, or what I hear people commonly complaining about, is that, oh man, I just can't get an edge on it. Well, it's a very, very hard steel. AUS 8 is a hard steel, but it's tempered differently. This, I haven't had issues getting sharp with just a standard, I don't use the standard whetstone. I do use the diamond stone. But I've never used any kind of an apparatus like this. I always just hand sharpen.
Yeah.
And never had an issue with AUS 8 or S30V 154 CM. My go-to steel has always been, and probably always will be, 1095. There are better steels. It's kind of like me and some of these old guns that I like.
Yeah.
I know it. I know what I'm doing when I've got it. I know exactly how it's going to hold up. And basically, I can take a river rock and put an edge on it.
Yeah.
So
it has got a picture of a wasp on there, so I'd say that's probably what it's.
Well, that's what the internet says it means. So everything you read and hear on the internet, is true. So I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, and you can get these in different colors. I mean, They've got the beige like color, like some of your gun stocks,
Yeah.
or whatever they call it. And the orange, the green,
OD
black,
green,
OD
black.
green. Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, if I'm packing around in the woods, I do like the orange. If you drop that, you can find it.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the fall or winter and you drop black on the ground. Good luck. You know, and well, the green would even be difficult to find.
Yeah.
It does have a shiny back though, so you know, provided this lands like so and not like so, that'd be a lot more difficult to find. But anyway, that's the reason behind the orange there, and you know, you can carry that thing on your tool belt or going out. Whatever, nobody's gonna think you've got a knife. They think it's a tool, and you know, I mean, people. You never know in today's society. You know, you're out walking around. Oh, he's got a knife. You don't know how people are gonna act. So it's just something to consider. You know, that looks very non-menacing.
Yeah. Now, price wise,
Call this urban camo is what we call that.
Price wise, it's not very expensive. I mean, the knife is well priced. You can get these for around between $34 to $38, $40.
You're pretty much under 40.
This is a well-made knife for the $40 knife.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe he got. Well, he said, "I think I got you a knockoff. I don't think that's the real thing." I said, "Oh, it's real. That's what they
the
are."
knife is 5 inches closed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the blade opened up. So you got a 3.5 inch blade, which you can do the math, or you can just measure it, and you got about an 8.5 inch knife. So it's a pretty good size.
And
knife.
I am curious about something here. And let's go ahead and weigh these. And I don't know, let me make sure this is in frame.
Yeah.
And we'll get a good weighing of these here.
Okay, we're in here. 4.4 ounces on that one. Let's see what this one weighs. 4.5 ounces. Now that's the D2 steel.
Yeah.
So another one, 4.6 ounces.
That's probably dust and stuff in my lint. Stuff from my pocket. But that's interesting. I was holding on to that D2 there, and it felt a bit thicker to me. But I would have figured the D2 would be a little heavier, but it actually came out the one I carry is heavy.
Yeah.
But but that's still it's a lightweight knife. A great thing to carry, just a great carrying knife.
Yeah, and like I said, it's easy to put an edge on. I mean, this thing, razor sharp. It's good metal. I mean, for the money, you can't beat it.
Right. There's people that knock AUS 8. I've owned quite a bit of knives in AUS 8. I like it. I don't see any issues with it. 154 CM varies wildly. I've got an old knife. It's an old mod that was 154 CM. That's great steel. It's awesome. But the newer 154 CM steels, they kind of seem soft to me. When you go to sharpen them, it seems like the edge rolls over. That's been my personal experience with it. It could be I just got bad stuff. I don't know. I will say 1095 is very consistent. D2 is consistent. S30V is consistent.
Yeah.
I've got that Kalinga skinning knife that is S30V. Now, the blade did chip on that. But boy, you want to talk about easy to put an edge on. That thing will take a razor's edge real fast. So, but that's just a little bit of, opinion, I guess, and just again, want to point these out, and that's the Esee Avispa, and just what a good knife.
Can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong with it, and something before I forget to mention again, American Gun and Pawn is our local gun shop, and we do recommend everybody shop locally. And that happens to be our local gun shop. And if you are ever in Northern Kentucky, give them a look. It is American Gun and Pawn, located in Dry Ridge.
Yep.
So. Yep. All right. Anything we want to add to this, Mr. August?
No, I'm just. I'm glad you turned me on to these knives. I mean, I really love them. I think I'm going to carry this with me my next deer hunting trip.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate this was a great Christmas gift, so I really appreciate it. And all right, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man. Use the comment section below of what you think about the Esee.